First tonight at 5, the very latest from the Twin Cities after a mass shooting kills 2 children and injures 17 others at a Catholic school. The troubling connection to the Abundant Life Christian school shooting in Madison.
Plus, Maddie Himes joins us live from the Dane County Courthouse. It's day 2 of the retrial of the man charged in a 2023 fatal shooting. And
3 weeks after heavy rains hit the Milwaukee area, the governor asks the White House for help from FEMA with the flooding.
We're watching News 3 Now at 5, and we are following breaking news as the nation is reeling from the 44th school shooting this year. A gunman in their 20s opened fire at a Catholic school and church in Minneapolis this morning, killing 2 young children and injuring 17 others before shooting himself.
And News 3 Now is learning of a possible connection to Madison. Our Arman Rahman is here with the very latest information.
That's right, Eric and Susan. Law enforcement today has confirmed that the shooter, Robin Westman, released a YouTube video showing off their weapons with a variety of symbols and names on them, including the name Rupnow on an AR-15. That's the last name of the 15-year-old girl who opened fire at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison last December, killing 2 people and injuring 6 more. Now, it's not clear if the guns in the video were the ones used in the shooting today. Sources tell CBS News the shooter was a former student, and officials in Minneapolis say all those injured are expected to survive.
Parents walked hand in hand with their children away from Annunciation Catholic School, tears flowing after a deadly shooting during a morning mass.
At this point, we know we have a total of 19 victims from this tragedy. 2 were young children, ages 8 and 10, that were sitting in the pews at Mass when they were shot and killed.
Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara says the shooter was 23-year-old Robin Westman, who opened fire from outside the church with a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol, all legally purchased.
It was maybe 3 minutes in, the first shot fired.
5th grader Weston Halsney said he was just 2 seats away from the stained glass windows.
The first one, I was like, what is that? I thought it was just something. Then when I heard it again, I just ran under the pew, and then I covered my head. My friend Victor saved me though, because he laid on top of me, but he got hit.
School principal Matthew Dubois said teachers reacted instantly to save the students.
Children were ducked down. Adults were protecting children. Older children were protecting younger children.
Law enforcement is looking into the shooter's writings and online posts for a possible motive. But as details emerge about the shooter, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey says the focus should be on the victims and preventing future tragedy.
Kids died today. This needs to be about them. This needs to be wrapping our arms around these families with every bit of love that we can possibly show.
This was just the 3rd day of the school year for Annunciation Catholic School, which goes from pre-K to 8th grade.
And that was CBS's Lana Zach reporting. And today, representatives from Abundant Life did not want to speak on camera to avoid triggering anyone within their school community, but they released a statement which reads, "Our hearts are broken to learn of the tragedy at Annunciation Catholic Church and School in Minneapolis today. As a school that has experienced tragedy firsthand, we understand what they are going through and the challenges of the road ahead. Our Challenger family holds the Annunciation and Minneapolis communities in prayer, offers our support, and stands in solidarity with them at this difficult time." And in addition to both carrying out shootings at Christian schools, both Westman and Rupnow committed suicide at the scenes.
Armand, thank you. And Wisconsin politicians are also commenting. Senator Tammy Baldwin posting on the social media platform X, quote, "Another school year shouldn't mean another tragedy. My thoughts are with the impacted families, victims still fighting for their lives, first responders, and the entire Minneapolis community." And Representative Derek Van Orden posted on X saying, quote, "Pray for Minnesota. We are praying for the students, faculty, and their families."
We'll be providing updates as soon as we get them on our News 3 Now app. Just search Channel 3000 wherever you get your apps.
And more breaking news, a federal grand jury has indicted former Sun Prairie West High School Dean of Students Robert Gilkey Meisegeier. He's charged with producing, attempting to produce, and possessing child sex abuse material. If convicted on all of those charges, he could go to prison for several decades.
Wisconsin legislators Kelda Roys and Breanne Brown have announced legislation to ban ban firearms from college campuses around the state. During a press conference today, current law says carrying a firearm in public or in privately owned university buildings is a misdemeanor, with exemptions for people licensed to carry a concealed weapon. The proposed legislation would strike this exemption from.
We want to make sure that students, faculty, and staff are free to engage in dialogue, to learn, and to deepen their skills and knowledge without the fear of gun violence.
Wisconsin is one of 11 states that allows concealed carry on public college campuses. The proposed legislation would make college campuses gun-free zones like K-12 schools across the state.
The co-leader of an online group called Purgatory tells reporters at the technology magazine Wired that he is responsible for a series of fake active shooter alerts at universities across the U.S. in recent weeks. On Monday, police responded to hundreds of fake calls about an active shooter at the University of Arkansas. That same day, students at the University of Colorado were forced to evacuate during a 3-hour ordeal that turned out to be fake. The group apparently live streams police responses on the platform Telegram and has made over $100,000 from swatting incidents. The FBI and several other federal agencies are investigating.
Well, all eyes are on the forecast for tomorrow night as the Badgers begin the new season. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington is on the weather patio. How does it look?
It looks beautiful right now out here on the patio, but will 24 hours from now be just as beautiful as what we're experiencing out here on the patio? I have all the answers, and it starts off with a look at radar 3000 because we do have a couple showers and some thunderstorms that are going to enter parts of southern Wisconsin as we go into the overnight hours. This is going to be as we head towards midnight and beyond. Right now, nothing across southern Wisconsin, but those showers and storms are going to be increasing in terms of being more widespread as we go through the overnight hours. Beautiful, like I said, though, out here right now, right around 70 degrees. We got a 64 in Mineral Point, 72 in Janesville, and 72 to the east in Deerfield, 73 down the highway and Cross Plains. And as we plan the rest of our night tonight, there you see the clouds start to increase as we head a little bit later into the evening, and those showers building in by 1 o'clock in the morning. When you join me next in about 10 minutes, I'm going to take you through Future Track from start to end so you know when those raindrops will move out of southern Wisconsin.
All right, sounds good, Alex. Thank you. Madison police are asking for your help to identify suspects after a man was hospitalized following an attack on August 13th. Officers responded to Balsam Road at 2 p.m. after reports of battery, where they found a man with injuries. Witnesses say one suspect tackled the victim while the second suspect kicked him. Both suspects left before police arrived. The victim's condition has not been released.
5 buildings have reopened after a contractor hit a gas line in Sun Prairie yesterday. Fire crews responded to a reported gas leak on Main Street. This is about 4. That's where a contractor was working underground. Crews found small amounts of natural gas and immediately evacuated 3 nearby businesses and 2 nearby duplexes. Energy providers have stopped the leak. The buildings are now back open and no injuries were reported.
Now to continuing coverage of the retrial of Devontae Gafford, the man facing felony charges for shooting and killing on Madison's East Side in 2023.
And this is day 2 of the retrial. Maddie Heim joins us live once again from the Dane County Courthouse with what happened in that courtroom today. Maddie?
It was a day full of testimony in the courtroom, many of the witnesses taking the stand now for the second time, as like you mentioned, this is a retrial for Devontae Gafford. Gafford is facing charges of first-degree recklessly endangering safety and first-degree intentional homicide, both as a party to a crime. He faced a jury back in 2024, but the jurors deadlocked on those 2 charges, leading to the judge to declare a mistrial. Now, we hear from those witnesses all over again.
Priority 1, sort of life safety and safety of human beings first, correct?
Correct.
And then the second thing is the preservation of the crime scene.
That is correct.
But in this particular instance, basically a vehicle drove right through the middle of a what was soon to be a homicide investigation, correct?
That is correct.
You hear there the defense attorney asking the detectives questions about the status of the scene just after the shooting occurred. And we also heard questions about the number of shootings police have responded to at the Harmony Apartments. And all of more on that and some of those other testimonies on News 3 Now at 6. Reporting live in downtown Madison, I'm Maddie Heimsch, News 3 Now.
All right, Maddie, thank you. A county judge has granted a change in venue request in the trial of 17-year-old Carson Peters Berger, who is charged with the murder of 10-year-old Lily Peters. Her body was found in the woods after she went missing near Chippewa Falls in 2022. The judge ruled that the trial will either be moved to another location or outside jurors will be brought in to ensure a fair trial.
Case law states that if there's any doubt, it should be resolved in the favor of the defendant in his request for a change of venue. So I am going to grant the motion.
Future court records and juror identities will also be sealed temporarily. Peters Berger will be tried as an adult. Another hearing is scheduled for December.
Governor Tony Evers is requesting a presidential disaster declaration from President Trump in response to the severe storms and flooding in Wisconsin. The request includes help from FEMA for Milwaukee, Washington, Waukesha, Door, Grant, and Ozaukee counties. Preliminary assessments from 3 counties estimate there is over $33 million in damage, and 1,500 homes were destroyed or damaged. Governor Evers says the presidential disaster declaration will help families find relief.
A live look at our Edgewater Sky Cam in Madison, and as Labor Day weekend approaches, the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources is asking visitors to Wisconsin lakes and rivers to prioritize safety. 12 people have died during boating incidents so far this year. The DNR says several were not wearing their life jackets. The DNR advises boaters to stay sober, drive at a safe speed, and make sure your boat is visible. Be aware of the weather, remove distractions, respect others, and wear those life jackets while enjoying the water this weekend.
Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington is back next with a complete look at the forecast for tomorrow night's Badger opener.
And if you have any plans for a trip before the end of summer, if so, some good news when it comes to prices.
And the day after roster cuts, Jason Wilde reports from Green Bay about how yesterday's changes made the practice field look a whole lot different.
Stocks trading in positive terrain on Wall Street. The Dow gaining more than 147. NASDAQ adds 46. S&P 500 jumps 15.5, and we'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Well, with its roster lighter by almost 40 players, the Packers were back on the practice field today.
And our Packers senior writer Jason Wilde offers some perspective on how that has changed things as the focus now shifts to the opener against the Detroit Lions.
I've always found one of the strangest things about the first practice after training camp ends is how few players are there. The Packers moved on from more than 20 players after the end of training camp with yesterday's cuts. And so as they go through practice right now behind me, there is some adjustment to be made. They are also continuing to adjust the roster. While Brian Gutekunst settled on his initial 53, there have been some changes since. One important development that we saw already at practice, though, the Packers' starting offensive line appears to be starting at left tackle Rasheed Walker, who fends off first-round pick from last year Jordan Morgan to keep his starting job, at least for now. Still, things can change between now and the start of the September 7th opener against the Detroit Lions at Lambeau Field and on Channel 3. That's it from here for now. We'll talk to the Packers in the locker room after practice. We'll have full coverage at channel3000.com. And don't forget, while you're there, make sure you sign up for the newsletter so you get our Packers coverage delivered directly to your inbox every single day. Back to you in the studio.
Jason, thanks. As he said, they're opening a week from Sunday. That's a 3:25 kickoff at Lambeau Field against the Lions. Again, as he mentioned, you can watch it here on Channel 3. And here's a heads up for all Badger fans. We're just over 24 hours out from our 30-minute special Wisconsin Game Day on News 3 Now. It'll air right after News 3 Now at 6. Sports Director Andrew Banstra will join me, and we'll be right there on Barry Alvarez Field at Camp Randall Stadium. And we'll have plenty of previews right here on News 3 Now and our newscast before the Badgers take on the Redhawks of Miami of Ohio. And then stick around at channel3000.com, Channel 3000 Plus, where we will have a streaming special where we'll dive a little bit more into the X's and O's of tomorrow night's opener. Full look at your first one forecast now, including the Labor Day weekend forecast, but also the big opener tomorrow night for the Badgers. We need great weather, and it looks like that's what's going to happen, Alex.
It certainly does look like that's what's going to happen. As we've been saying for days, this rain that's on the way, and we can see it already. Radar 3000 north and west of Madison, out towards Mankato right now, Rochester, just south of La Crosse, zooming in a little bit closer to home here. Our friends in Prairie du Chien, just west of the Fenimore area, couple showers popping up now. These are the garden variety type showers and a couple rumbles of thunder. As we move a little bit further to the east, it's dry yet over the rest of the area, but that is going to change as we put future track into motion. Watch here at midnight, southwest Wisconsin, Viroqua, Richland Center, Mazo-Maney, Dodgeville, over towards Crawford County, and even maybe as far south as Darlington, a couple of showers. Notice they become a bit more widespread, especially from the Dells to Watertown over towards the Waukesha area, Madison, Janesville, Monroe, Lone Rock, seeing a little bit more in the way of scattered shower and thunderstorm activity during the overnight hours. 4 o'clock, though, that's an important point here. By the time we get to, let's say 7, 8 o'clock, those showers have zipped off towards the south and towards the east, being replaced with winds coming in out of the north and out of the east, with skies eventually clearing out. So there's the good news again with our Badger game Thursday forecast. It looks like as we head towards kickoff and beyond, dry conditions. We could get 1/4 of an inch, maybe a 1/2 inch out of some of these isolated showers and thunderstorms tonight, but I'm not expecting this to be a big washout of an overnight weather event, and we're not expecting any severe weather with these showers and a couple of thunderstorms. Temperatures, though, tonight a little bit warmer. Normal low is 58 degrees. Lows tonight will be right around 58 degrees, which is a bit warmer than what we've been experiencing. Highs will be a little bit cooler. Madison areas off towards the south and towards the east, where we hang on to the clouds and that isolated shower chance earlier. North and west of Madison up towards La Crosse could approach 80. Because you'll have the sun coming out a little bit more so as we go throughout the day on Thursday. So here is that Badger football game forecast kickoff. 65 degrees, halftime 61. At the end of the game, just dipping below the 60-degree mark. You might want to bring a light jacket as there will be a touch of a breeze out there, but this is about as perfect as football weather as you can get, in my opinion here. Just cool enough to put that light jacket on, but not too hot and also not too cold. And then that Labor Day forecast that Eric was mentioning as we march out towards Monday here, Labor Day, 76 degrees. Dry conditions are expected. 77 on Tuesday. This is out ahead of our next weather system that will bring a better chance for showers. Could have a couple of thunderstorms as well Tuesday night going into Wednesday. Look at as we head towards Thursday, 62 degrees. Some weather models are keeping us in the 50s next Thursday, so that will certainly feel fall-like here. All the next 10 days here are below normal temperature-wise. Now, if you're also suffering from allergies, ragweed is very high out there right now, and that will likely continue until we can get some good frosts, dare I say frosts, at the end of August. We're still a couple months away likely from that. And a pretty picture here, as I always like to do if I can during our 5 o'clock newscast. This is from Beaver Dam, and this is from Nevaeh sending us this beautiful sunrise photo here. Thanks so much, Nevaeh, for sending us that pretty photo and a nice way to continue to end our Wednesday.
Very nice. Thank you, Alex. Just ahead at 5, some good news if you'd like to squeeze in a trip before the end of summer.
Plus, how Guinness is celebrating 70 years of world records. Not sure what that first one was, but stay with us.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Well, the unofficial end to summer is right around the corner, and if you're looking to squeeze in a final trip before fall, there's some good news. Airfares and gas prices are down.
Especially since Alex said frost in his forecast. Jen Sullivan now with some tips for travelers.
As the summer season comes to a close and cooler temperatures set in, travelers can look forward to dipping airfare and the cheapest gas prices we've seen since 2020.
It's going to get better after Labor Day and into mid-September. That's when we roll back to cheaper winter gasoline.
Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy says some parts of the country could see gas prices drop below $3 a gallon soon. As of Wednesday, the national average for a gallon of regular gas was $3.21. That's 14 cents cheaper than this time last year.
The bigger thing pushing prices lower this year has really been OPEC, who earlier this year raised production. That's pushed the price of oil down.
If you're hitting the roads this holiday weekend, AAA says the worst time to travel is Friday between noon and 8 p.m. and returning home Monday between 1 and 4 p.m.
I always advocate for hitting the road as early as possible, get a good night's sleep, fill up the night before.
Aixa Diaz with AAA says Labor Day isn't as popular as some of the other holiday weekends for travel because many students are back in school.
It's not like July 4th, where if a lot of people have summer vacations, there's a lot of, fluctuations in which days people are leaving. Same over Christmas. With Labor Day weekend, it's like most people are probably going to leave on Friday and come back on Monday.
If you're flying, domestic airfare is 6% cheaper than last year, according to AAA. Diaz says now is a great time to start booking an upcoming trip. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
And in Wisconsin, if you're looking to refuel over the weekend, Quick Trip, Woodman's, BP, and Citgo have their regular gas prices set between $2.70 and $2.80 a gallon.
And we'll have a final check of your First Warn forecast after a short break.
We will have new reporting on the Catholic school shooting in Minneapolis. Maurice Dubois will be there with our team of reporters. And dozens of FEMA employees could lose their jobs after they raised concerns about disaster preparedness. What they said about America's possible vulnerability to hurricanes and other catastrophes. That's tonight on the CBS Evening News.
And then coming up on News 3 Now at 6, we continue following the latest developments today on the deadly mass shooting in Minneapolis and the possible ties the shooter has to the Abundant Life Christian School shooter here in Madison. That's coming up after the CBS Evening News.
Guinness World Records is turning 70, and it's celebrating by highlighting the jaw-dropping record holders from all around the world. From a New Orleans prodigy here dribbling 6 basketballs at once to the longest human tunnel traveled by a skateboarding bulldog in Peru. Guinness has more than 53,000 records.
Here's this guy again. What is he doing?
We don't know. And there's clearly the tallest guy, but they have so many records in their database. On their 70th birthday, Guinness is releasing 70 unclaimed titles for anyone hoping to make history.
That's
Some of them,
impressive.
I'm sure, are so weird. I always used to check that out at the library when I was in
too.
grade school. Longest hair, who can pull a truck with their mustache, all that crazy stuff. Hey, we're really focusing on a great weekend forecast, starting with the Badger game tomorrow night.
Yeah, starting with Thursday, looking really good. We'll get through the rain tonight. It'll end by mid-morning, and then look at this. As tailgate temps 60s at the end of the game, temperatures right around 60 degrees. Just wear that light jacket, and then beyond. Beautiful Labor Day weekend ahead. Labor Day itself, 76 and dry. How about that?
Guinness record for most consecutive good days of weather.
How about that?
Yes. And never say frost again in an August forecast. Got that? CBS Evening News coming up next. We're back in 30 for News 3 Now at 6.
You can always find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000+.